Good morning, everybody. We've got here is the B6112 Bilstein. This is the coilover version. As you can see, it's got the external coilover spring. So what we're doing today is a preliminary to the install. So this is a complete unit ready to roll. They do not come this way. So I'll show you what I ended up doing. I want to be able to throw my stock stuff back in there if I want to, and I also may want to take these back off and sell them or whatever, but mostly when I take the one side apart, I want to be able to throw something right back in there. I don't want to have a lot of downtime or start screwing around trying to adjust the struts at that point in time. So what I did is I ended up buying the new top hat from GM and bumper stop and the dust cover. So just like this one, I'll be able to pop one side out, pop the other in immediately without any screwing around. So here's obviously the new coil spring. These are much thicker than the factory ones in diameter here. So when I pull one out, I'll show you, but that's going to be another video. This is just getting everything ready. So the tools you're going to need, obviously, your shocks. These parts, I'll leave these three part numbers. Oh, actually four, because I got a new top nut as well. So I'll leave you those part numbers in the video. I'll just put them right in there as a page. But anyway, so you're going to need 1/2-inch drive, ratchet, extension, and I need 18 and a 19 millimeter socket, and a spring compressor tool. I bought this one, Auto Body Now, on Amazon, and we can link that one in there. This one seemed pretty good, had really high ratings. Most guys are afraid to do this at home, and when I watch other guys do it sometimes on YouTube, I can see why they're afraid to do it. So take your time, don't use a impact wrench on this, because you got to turn them evenly, and just get enough that you can grab the threads with your nut. You don't need to compress the whole spring. So anyway, that'll be a lot safer for you. You're also going to need a pair of pliers. These vice grip ones work really well. These might work, we'll check it out. But so we could adjust the ride height stopper here. And so these basically go in 1/4 inch intervals. The bottom one's stock, then it's like 1/4 inch above. So you end up with like 2 inches of lift total if you go. Maybe actually a little more than that on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's advertised 2.5 inches total. Obviously that's going to vary upon the weight of the truck and just a little bit in general, but we'll give it a whirl. So then you're gonna, other than the spring compressor tool, you obviously need your old trusty blue rags, and I got some old regular axle grease. The thing is, you want to keep the threads on this well lubed, and it'll just keep a lot of stress off of this if you do. And as you see with other guys doing these ones actually have covers over them, safety covers over the shaft, which I think is a really good idea, so that these aren't just exposed out there. And big safety difference. You know, that if these give way, which a lot of times it looks like they do, at least you have something in there to hold them in place. So we're going to put a little grease on here and a little on these down here, and just keep them slick and easy to roll. So anyway, we're going to pull my coveralls up so I don't mess up my nice shirt, and we'll get ready to put these babies together. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is decide which ring you want this to be in. So based upon the amount of lift or stock. So like I say, we'll have that page on the video here and you can pick. But so I'm still using my truck specifically for towing heavy stuff. So I'm going to put it back at stock level. I may change it later, but so I'm going to use these little vice grips just because I can really pinch that piece of steel. So get a good grip on that baby, and you want to pull it out and then up a little bit. Of course that wasn't going to work. So out, then up. So we're just heading towards that next one. Okay, so keep gripping that ring, moving it around. And you know, they may make a specific tool for this, I don't know. I never found one, but I really didn't find you needed it either. As long as you just keep working your way around and just try to go incrementally, you know, don't try to jump 2 or 3 at once. And Seems kind of like a simplistic design, but apparently it works real well. So there we go. Just double check that she's in there in the groove the whole way. Okay, so now we got our ring right where we want it. So now you put the stopper on there. So you can see there's a little groove here, right there. That's what sits on top of your retainer. So slip that baby on there like that. Then take your spring, slide it on there. And now you're ready to go with your compressor. So this part of it, we'll go ahead and put this on later, but for now we're going to get ready with the spring compressor. And again, take your time with this, guys. You know, they call these things widow makers. Okay, so now we're going to hook up our spring compressor, and generally you're going to want to be high on the spring as possible. So we'll start on this one here, and then come down. I guess I could come down further, but this will probably do it, honestly, guys. So then put this lock on the back side of it, right there. Tighten her up, right like this. See how it's pinching the spring right here? Just get a little bit in place, then try to go 180 with this one, as close as you can. I mean, obviously you don't need to measure it or anything, but you should be pretty close to it. So same thing, just get around the spring, pinch her tight. This is a safety, should keep the upper parts of these assemblies together. So, and usually I just wrap it to the radius of the spring. These back on there. So you just want to try to keep this flat as you can up here, guys, because it is a safety thing. Don't tighten it up much till you get the other side on, or you'll be wrestling it. So that looks pretty close. Pretty close to 180. We'll give it a little snugging up here. So with your bumper stop on there, the dust boot just goes right over it anyway. So this is just an example of how much distance you're going to need to get out of it. And it's really not that much if you look. If you look in there right here on the end, you can see the tip of that. So you only need to get about an inch out of this, and you can grab some threads. So don't go hog wild. And like I said, don't use an impact. It may be quicker, but when things happen too fast, sometimes they can happen way too fast. And this thing is going to be 100% non-forgiving. So get your 19 millimeter, then just give it a little bit of love. Doesn't take a whole lot. Remember, we're only going to try to get an inch out of it total. So I just generally go a little bit on each side. I'm not counting the strokes or anything like that. And you'll be able to tell when you get a little bit of tension on her. And just take a look, double check, everything looks good. Hooks are nice and tight. Wrapped completely around the spring. And we're still almost at a perfect 180. So, again, we didn't get much so far, but I will check and see what we did. It surprised me when I put the other one together how quickly. See, we're already poking through, guys. We can't grab any threads yet, but that's where we're at. So, like I say, don't go hog wild because there's just no need in it. So we're back on the side we started at. Sorry guys, it was getting a little hot there even on this cool fall morning. All right, let's take a look at what we got now. Look at that, guys. We could actually grab some threads. So we'll take this back off, make it really annoying crinkling noises as I open the bump stopper up. Yeah, all these parts, guys, from Chevy direct, which I know you could buy somewhere else, but it was easy to pick the part numbers this way. It was like 129 bucks. And so to me, that was peanuts. So if you look at your top hat assembly here, you can see it's got some grooves that'll line up perfectly with these. So that's how you know which way it goes together. Okay, so it obviously, see what I mean? You can go there, you can go there, and it fits right in there. Okay, so there's no question about it for you. These obviously only go one way as well. Slides right in there. So the one thing you are going to want to check for, guys, when you're doing this is if you get up underneath your rig, turn the steering wheel one way or the other and really carefully look to be sure you get these lined up with the ones you're removing, so that when you go to attach your lower portion of your shock, everything's straight. So, you know, if you don't have that, you're going to have to crank these down a little bit and turn them. So, and just start your new top nut on there. And then this is where you're going to want the extension. So, because if you just took your 18 millimeter and put it on there, you can see you got nowhere to work without hitting these. So throw your extension on there. Oops. Okay. Hey, so guys, embarrassingly enough, I'd forgotten that once the end of this is sticking through, your socket will not work with your ratchet, because you can see the end sticking right through there. So I ended up having to use a deep well socket. So if you don't have a 1/2 inch drive, 18 millimeter deep well, I just grab my 3/8 and a 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter, and that'll work. These don't need to be torqued down to any massive spec or anything, so that way you can get past the threads there. Hold the other end of it, just give it a little love. Hold it down here, we just keep going, and it seems to just keep on turning. So I believe that, so you'll have some, once it's tied on there, I believe it so you'll have some adjustment for your orientation once you try to put it in the rig, because you're gonna have to line these up with your old holes. Okay, and then down here you can see this is going to turn, so I think you can adjust it this fashion. Now we're going to take the pressure off it and see if that's true. All right, like I say, we're going to loosen this off slowly, and you still want to go even side to side, because it still could come off and cause chaos in your life. So just go a little ways and do the other one, same type of thing. Again, you don't need to count the revolutions or anything. Then we'll get it loose down to finger tight, and take the coil spring compressing tool completely off the strut. And we're almost there. So one thing to watch out for as you're going though, make sure you don't have a huge gap down here. So make sure the spring is setting on the adjustment plate, because I've seen them be actually stuck up here, maybe hooked on the ring or something. So make sure you got a good seal like that. Now it won't be that way all the way around, just because it is a coil spring. So you can see when I lift it here, there's going to be a gap eventually, just because the spring is not round, but it should be pretty close. So anyway, just about there, guys. Okay, there we got it down to finger tight. So we'll just loosen them up the rest of the way, just like this. Okay. We'll pop the tool off, loosen everything up. Don't get too excited and smash your fingers or anything. There you have it. One complete coilover strut assembly to install and improve your ride, baby. So anyway, we're going to do the install video separate. Like I say, this way I can swap this right out. You know, get the old one out, throw this one right in. It should save a lot of time. Anyway, later on when I want to sell the rig or whatever, or change it back, I can do the same thing quickly right here in my driveway. So thanks guys. Like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please make them below. Have a great day.